Located in Lee County, South Carolina, Bishopville is a city of 3,471, and has with it a notorious cryptid stalking the nearby swamps, who has a scaly appearance and a penchant for munching on cars. Its name, the Lizardman of Scape Swamp, or the Lizardman of Lee County. Its appearance is almost like something out of a comic book, but to locals and reports, it's all too real. The Lizardman was described as having scaly green skin with either red or orange eyes and 3-fingered webbed hands. It stood about 7 feet tall and had a stride of around 40 inches. The first modern reported sighting of the creature was made by George Holloman Jr. in the fall of 1987, but it was the report by Christopher Davis, a 17-year-old local man, that made the Lizardman famous. Davis said he encountered the creature while driving home from work at 2 a.m. on June 29, 1988. According to his account, Davis stopped on a road bordering Scape Swamp in order to change a tire which had blown out. When he was finishing up, he reported having heard a thumping noise from behind him, and having turned around to see the creature running towards him. Davis said the creature tried to grab at the car and then jumped on its roof as he tried to escape, clinging to it as Davis swerved from side to side in an effort to throw it off. After he returned home, Davis's side view mirror was found to be badly damaged, and scratch marks were found on the car's roof, though there were no other physical evidence of his encounter. He recounted, "I looked back and saw something running across the field towards me. It was about 25 yards away, and I saw red eyes glowing. I ran into the car, and as I locked it, the thing grabbed the door handle. I could see him from the neck down. The 3 big fingers, long black nails, and green rough skin. It was strong and angry. I looked in my mirror and I saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes, and then he jumped on the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt, and then I could see his fingers through the front windshield, where they curled around on the roof. I sped up and swerved to shake the creature off." In the month that followed the Davis sighting, there were further reports of a large lizard-like creature, and of unusual scratches and bite marks found on cars parked close to the swamp. On July 14, 1988, just a few weeks after the experience that Davis had while driving home from work, a couple named Tom and Mary Way called the police to their home in Bishopville to report a bizarre incident involving their vehicle. Unbeknownst to them, something had come along during the night and ripped the chrome fender clear off their car, broke its hood ornament, scratched its sides, bent the antenna, and even ripped out some of the motor wires. Even weirder was that the police noticed that the fender looked as if it had been chewed on, as if an animal had used its teeth to rip it off the car. The Ways also discovered several muddy footprints all over the car, as well as clumps of red hair nearby. One of the main investigators for this particular incident, Sheriff Truesdale, spoke to several locals who gave him their theories on what happened to the Ways car. Their reports were eerily similar to what Davis said he saw. "We learned that people in the Browntown community had been seeing a strange creature about 7 feet tall with red eyes. Some of them described it as green, but some of them as brown. They thought it might be responsible for what happened," said Truesdale. Most sightings are said to have occurred within a 3-mile radius of the swamps of Bishopville. At the time, local law enforcement officials reacted to reports of the Lizardman with a mixture of concern and skepticism, stating that a sufficient number of sightings had been made by apparently reliable people for them to believe that something tangible was being seen, but also that it was more likely to be a bear than a Lizardman. 2 weeks after the Davis sighting, the Sheriff's Department made several plaster casts of what appeared to be 3-toed footprints, measuring some 14 inches in length, but decided against sending them on to the FBI for further analysis, after biologists advised them that they were unclassifiable. According to South Carolina Marine Resources Department spokesperson Johnny Evans, the tracks neither matched nor could be mistaken for the footprints of any recorded animal. Evans also dismissed the possibility that they could have been made by some form of mutated creature. Then the sightings seemed to stop, until 2005, where a woman in Newberry, South Carolina, reported in October 2005 that she had not seen one, but 2 lizardmen creatures outside of her home. 3 years later, a Bishopville couple named Bob and Dixie Rawson discovered that their car had been damaged overnight and that a few of their cats had gone missing. To add to their fears, they also noticed patches of blood on their car, which an examination determined to have come from a dog. A sheriff later discovered a dead coyote and a dead cow in the field next to their home. Even as recent as 2015, the sightings continued. In August of 2015, a woman named Sarah Berra snapped a photo of the Lizardman after she stepped outside of church for a moment. It's one that would make most people laugh, myself included, with its bulging muscles, fake-looking red eyes, and plasticky appearance. However, the photo she shared later encouraged an anonymous man to share video footage he had taken of the creature in May of that year. The man wrote into a local news station saying, "I saw your Lizardman story, and it's given me the courage to send you a video I took in early May. Though my wife believes me that it's real, she said she would be embarrassed that everyone would think I was crazy, so I kept it a secret." His 24-second video shows a tall figure darting in and out of the trees in a patch of woods, though it doesn't get close enough to show any real detail on what it is. Shortly after that video was released, another local man named Jim Wilson claimed he too had seen a dark figure with a scaly tail while on South Carolina's Highway 34. He tried to take a picture, but said the creature darted across the skateboard bridge too fast. The sightings attracted tourists interested in seeing the creature and hunters interested in killing it, and nearby radio station WCOS offered a $1 million reward to anyone who could capture the creature alive. However, reports of the creature began to decline at the end of the summer, with the last credible sighting of the year being reported in July. On August 5th, Kenneth Orr, an airman stationed at Shaw Air Force Base, filed a report with the police saying that he encountered the Lizardman on Highway 15 and that he had shot and wounded it. He presented several scales and a small quantity of blood as evidence. Orr recanted this account 2 days later when he was arraigned for unlawfully carrying a pistol and the misdemeanor offense of filing a false police report. According to Orr, he had invented the sighting in order to keep stories about the Lizardman in circulation. Though some in the Bishopville area would swear up and down that their encounters with the Lizardman were real, backed by many testimonies. A local professor named Scott Poole claims the recent sightings are just part of the cyclical nature of these folk legends. Once a monster narrative is born, it reemerges every few years when people need to tell the story again. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to, and stay tuned on Monday for another episode of The Unknown Files here on Unknown Territory.